I'm Andy.
I'm Dave.
I'm Kirk.
And we are here to do a reaction review video for the new song by, I always get this wrong, but Eluvietie. And the song is Exile of the Gods. Now, I have reacted to them historically on the Dave Does channel. It was ages ago. I did Call of the Mountains. I think the last time I actually reacted to them was 2019. And I really liked Call of the Mountains, but that was a different lineup of the band. It was a different singer. Since then, I know they historically have changed quite a lot. So this is going to be kind of different for me. You guys, I believe, have heard the names, but haven't really heard them before.
Like you, I never knew how to pronounce it. Apparently it's Eluvietie. Phonetically, that still doesn't sound right.
Why is there a U in it then? Eluvietie.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not Germanic, the word. That's why I'm struggling to pronounce it.
Well, I always get people put in the comments how to pronounce it, but we will, let's go check it out anyway. As always, we're not going to pause the video. We're not going to talk over it. We're going to share the thoughts and feelings at the end, and that way everyone can enjoy the music just like we are. So I think we should go and check it out now.
Forsaken and outcast, shame stabbing, guilt crushing, and darkness has fallen. What have we done? Our hands stained with their blood, injustice has befallen. We have become like deadly shed, like empty shells cast away, like dying arrows.
the outro bit. Okay, who wants to go first on this one? No one? Right, okay.
I'll go first then if you want.
Oh.
So I'm gonna pronounce it actually as if it's a Germanic word, Eluvietie.
All right, okay.
Would be how we're pronouncing it, I believe. I think the difficulty you've got with symphonic and folk metal is the guitars always end up diluted in the mix. And I noticed there that the rhythm guitarist was having to rely on drop tune chugs to get himself heard, and had to put a guitar solo in there to remind you that it's a metal song. And I've still not ever really heard a band that have managed to get that successful calibration of a really aggressive guitar. Maybe Therion, who started this genre. The lazy comparison obviously is with Nightwish, isn't it? Here. The best parts for me were the effulgence of the flute solo and the violin. I think someone was playing a lute in there as well. A lot of instrumentation, as you'd expect. The vocals carried the song, didn't they? They were the focal points, and a real radiance to those melodies as well. I appreciate that they're trying to put blast beats in there, and even at the end they tried to give you a bit of a death metal Easter egg, didn't they? I think for the people who've got heavier tastes in metal. A lot going on. I could easily listen to an album full of that. I just wouldn't be expecting it to be a metallic masterpiece, but I don't think I'd be listening to it for that, because I know that there's so many different elements. I could probably enjoy it for the textures and for the wider color palette alone. So overall, I would say, yeah, I could listen to it again. It didn't blow me away, but certainly a band that if they were playing live at a festival, I would definitely go to watch them.
Okay. I mean, I kind of, I picked up that whole thing when it kicked in with the blast beats. I thought this is going to be like an intense song all the way through, and then they just kind of went down this standard metal rock track. It felt they went down the easy option. It felt like with the kind of big chords, the female fronted vocals. It was nice melody all the way through. So it's almost like they did a track of two separate songs and tried to wedge them together with those blast beats at the beginning and at the end. Which I don't have a problem with either one of them. It just, I couldn't work out why they put them together. They didn't feel like they needed to be. And maybe, as you said, it was just to kind of keep people entertained from into some of their early other stuff that's really aggressive. And I would have actually preferred, I would have liked to have heard the guy singer sing the whole track. I think that would have changed the vibe of the song. Even with the chuggy guitars and the flutes and everything going on, with him doing vocals, that more aggressive vocal style, I think that would have made the song feel a lot heavier. I think she's an okay singer. She sounded a little bit nasally to me. Very thin, nasally kind of voice. So I didn't really get into her vocal style. But I actually really liked his when he did come in with those few. I mean, you could hear him in the background on the choruses, but not loud enough. He was just kind of adding a little bit of gravel, and I think he should have come forward a lot more. I think he had a great. The few times when he actually kicked in, he had this real guttural vocal style that you could clearly hear. So it wasn't like it was where you get like on Cannibal Corpse or something like that, where you have no idea what's going on vocally. It's just completely, and you have no idea what's happening. But it's in his, you could tell what he was trying to enunciate, and it actually worked really well. So I'd have liked him to be more in it, at least balanced out a bit more.
Andy, I'd be interested to know your opinion. Do you think that it was a bit of death metal window dressing, that moment when his vocals come in?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'm glad the sort of blast beats were dropped after a few seconds, and you know, you got your sort of standard symphonic metal song, you know, shortly afterwards. I agree with you, David. I thought the guys' vocals were really good. You know, from that genre, really good. And again, not used enough, I don't think, in that particular song. The girl singing, yeah, adequate. I think there's a lot better on the scene. You know, but yeah, their tour bus must be absolutely jammed. You know, no space on there when they go out. And how many users on that screen? 9, 10. But yeah, like you, Kirk, I could listen to a few more tracks of those, but I'd like to hear more vocals from the male. Yeah, it's a good song. I like the visuals as well. There's almost like an environmental element at the beginning, wasn't there? With the dead fish in the sea and the power stations and all that. I'm not sure if that's connected with the the theme of the song exactly, because that's kind of disappeared early on, didn't it? As you said, Dave, maybe two different tracks combined into one. Two different ideas, musically and visually. But I'm sure, yeah, good band. I'd like to hear more.
Yeah, I think so. In the past, they've been called Celtic folk metal, and modern day Switzerland, I can't remember which canton it is, clearly the one that they're from, actually there's still an ancient Celtic language in existence. People think, obviously, that it's a Germanic country with the francophone Latin elements, but a lot of their history they know through the Roman historian Tacitus, who famously wrote the book Germania, which...
Do you remember all this?
Well, I studied history, so no, that's where a lot of us, in the Germanic world, and I include England in that, because obviously, we're a Germanic race and have a Germanic language, so that's where we know a lot of our origins from the great Roman writers, and I won't be surprised if they're drawing upon Tacitus for inspiration there, as well as the oral history that's been handed down through the centuries. So yeah, a lot to get into there intellectually, and I just don't know if I'm just going to the guitars are diluted in the mix for me, and there is a bit of let's actually put in just, I think you used the term a death metal drop moment, don't you? I think that's the term you like to use, and there were a couple of times when they did that and I was like, is this to keep me interested?
Right. Yeah, it did feel like that.
Guitars need to be more prominent. I think they probably overkilled the folk instruments. I think, as you said, there's a lute, there's a harp, guy on a bagpipe type instrument that you don't blow down. I don't know what that's callalled, but is that absolutely necessary to the sound of the song, or is it just sort of, look at us, we've got a harpist, we've got a lute player,
It's true. I mean, if you
spread those instruments throughout single parts of the song or different songs, but to have them all doing their thing during the instrumental section was a bit overwhelming, really, and probably unnecessary. But
I mean, if you go back 10 years to where they kind of started out, they had the lute in there, and they occasionally used the flute, but they never had a harp, they never had bagpipes. They weren't instruments that were part of it. It was a more stripped down sound. But also, I mean, you'll know it from recording an album, you've got certain headspace that you need where certain instruments will fit in their frequencies. So you've got your bass, you've got your kick drums, they're all down the low end. You've got your vocals and guitars. Your guitars sit in the mid to high, and your vocals sit in your higher range. The problem is in that same range, you've now got lute, you've got your flute, you've got your bagpipes, you've got your harp, and they're all now trying to play with the same frequencies in the music. So something has to go, which is why they've then taken guitars and gone, well, we'll basically put the chug in and we'll play it on the low string. And if we bring that down, that'll put it more in the frequencies with the kick drum and the bass, and that means there's a little bit more space in the mix, and that's probably why they've done it, because there's just too much in there. The only real way around that is if you pan left and pan right and put instruments left and right side. That way they can occupy the same frequencies and you can still clearly hear them. That's the only real way around that, and that's where you used to hear that in a lot of older recordings, that they would use the pan left and pan right because they couldn't get that clarity in the frequencies. But anyway, yeah, nice little reaction to that band I've not even an attempt to pronounce, an Exile of the Gods. There you go, thank you, Kirk. And that's it for today. If you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.